Hello and welcome. This is part one in the five-part series, Jumpstart Your Trading. I'm providing this to you as a free gift just for stopping by the website, and I want to say thank you. Wanted to focus on something today that a lot of people don't really give critical thought to until it's too late, until they've already lost money. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is start off on the right foot. So we're going to talk about building a good foundation. Can you see that? I wonder how this turned out. We want to talk about building a good foundation to getting started. Now, I don't care if you've been trading for 20 years or if you've been trading or just trying to learn to trade, to do this in real time, and this is your first look at it. Doesn't matter to me. You need a good foundation, and no one is exempt from building on a solid foundation. If your results haven't been what you want them to be, or you don't even know what your results could be, you need a place to start from that's going to really help you do this on the right foot from day one. And this isn't about analysis and charts and books and tapes and audio series. This is about you knowing what's important for you, about where you're starting from and what the issues are that's going to be a challenge to you. See, everybody's a little different. I learned this business the hard way from the inside out. And oh my God, the pain and suffering I went through I wouldn't wish it on anyone. But the point is that, there's other guys that didn't have these issues, they had issues of their own. That's what set them back. If they would have known that going in, they would have shortened that learning curve, which is really all we want to do. So let me get the PowerPoint up and running. We're going to talk about building a good foundation, what things you can do right now, starting today. So by the end of the day, you're ready to take the next step and get ready to trade. So what is our foundation? We want to talk about getting started. What's the best foundation to build on? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Again, as always, because I never know who's listening to this, trading is a risk. You got to be willing to accept that risk. You could lose money. Don't trade with money unless you can afford to lose it. Uh, there's no guarantees. You need to be prepared for that. Uh, and again, I'm not telling you that you should or you shouldn't trade. I'm just saying that you want to be protected. So if this is not the right time in your life for emotionally and financially for you to take a risk investment on, trading isn't for you right now. So that being said, what is the foundation you want to build on? Okay, the foundation is trading is a business, so treat it like one. Okay, your best initial start as a business, developing a business, so you don't make the mistake that other people have made, is to create a business plan and follow through on it. In other words, get an idea in your mind, a foundation of how you're going to run your business, and there's two ways you can do this. Okay. And the important issue is there's no shortcut to this. Don't make the mistake of thinking there's a shortcut. You need to ask these questions, answer them honestly, and then we'll move on to what might be the best foundation for you to run your business. Number one, how much time am I willing to wait for a profit? How much for a loss? Why do we ask this question? If you're the kind of guy or gal that will want to be in the market and out by the end of the day because you don't want to hold a position overnight, you don't want to be in or out, you want to be in or out in an hour or two. That's a different business plan than a guy who says, well, I'll put something on today and I'll look at it again in a week or two, and then maybe I'll take it off 6 months from now. If you're willing to wait 6 months for a profit, you have a different business plan in play. How much time can I invest daily in my business? It's my opinion that if you're not prepared to invest a certain amount of time every day managing your business, you're making a mistake. What is the amount of time you're willing to invest? Automate or not. And by this is very important because a lot of people don't understand what it means to automate. What it means to automate means you're going to take somebody else's expertise, not to develop your own, take somebody else's. And we'll get to that in a minute. Now, the time to wait. Here's the issue. After you answer those questions, you need to commit to developing or finding an execution plan. This means you will buy or sell under those conditions, no exceptions. Exactly what that means is going to be unique. Let's say that you're the kind of guy that's willing to wait 6 months for a profit to show in his account. In other words, you put a position on, you're willing to let it work for a longer period of time. If you're willing to do that, you need to find or develop a trend following approach. If you're the kind of guy that wants to be in and out of the market on a very short time frame, couple of minutes, an hour or two maybe, you want to have no positions on at the end of the day, You need to find a system or develop an approach that's based on volatility. Volatility can work for you or against you. Additionally, you need to make the commitment that you're only going to buy or sell under those conditions. In other words, if you're gonna be the type of individual that's willing to wait a longer amount of time, the only thing you're ever going to do is trade with the trend. If you're the kind of guy that's not willing to wait very long, you know the market can give you something today. You need to be very, very careful that you don't expect home runs on that. In other words, you're going to make 20, 30, 40, 50 points, which might, depending on the size of your account, maybe only be 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks a day, but you need to be satisfied with that. In other words, volatility will move higher and lower all the time very quickly on short time frames, and it never really gets more than a few points one way or the other, so you need to be prepared for that. So the amount of time you're willing to wait for your gain more or less determines what style of trading your business is going to have. You need to make that choice. Once you make it, you stick with it, and that's what you look for. Every systemized approach that you could buy, every systemized approach that you could take and develop on your own, all of them have a time frame issue and an assumption that we're either going to go with a trend or we're going to go with volatility. What is it for you? You got to know how much time you're willing to invest in this, because a trend following system doesn't take very much time at all. There's nothing to it. Because you're going to wait 6 months. What do you need to do every day? Like maybe check to make sure that the market hasn't done something screwy for one day. You're going to be in it for 6 months. Maybe you need to spend 10 minutes a day on that, right? If you're going to be in something that involves volatility, you might need to sit in front of that computer for 8 to 12 hours a day waiting for that opportunity and then instantly execute. So you need to know what that amount of time is that you're willing to invest. The goal here is discipline and consistency. It doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to do, as long as you try to do it all